Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Sitivien ST995 sporting M390 steel. There's something really special about this knife, and it's well made. But the special element here is that this knife comes in at $80, almost a budget knife by this channel's standards. So the first question that you would naturally ask is, are we even sure that it's real M390? And the answer is yes, actually. LTK, or Love Them Knives, I had a quick conversation with him. He has the ability to test not only hardness, but figure out exactly what the composition is. And this did come back as M390. I'm going to show you guys some information here in just a second. But I appreciate LTK or Love Them Knives for chatting with me about that. It just helps out because I don't have that equipment. So make sure you subscribe to him if you're not. Thanks so much to Sitivien for providing this knife for review. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. And please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Real quick, we're going to get through specs because I've got some more information that I'd like to share with you guys. The overall length of this knife comes in at 7.75 inches. Blade length almost 3.5, about 3.45. The cutting edge is 3.25. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Rat Model 2. More of a Rat 2 size knife, but a little bit bigger. How about up against the Sitivien Elementum and the CJRB Pyrite? There we go. And maybe we'll do just a couple more of the Benchmade Bug Out, and how about the Spyderco Para 3? This is very much a bug out sized knife. How's the action? It's all right. There's limited access to the lock bar, and the edges are a little bit sudden. I wouldn't call it sharp, but it's not the easiest thing to get in there. It's okay. It doesn't feel grindy, but there are some inconsistent areas. I don't want to come down on it too much because it's not a super expensive knife, and honestly, the overall fit and finish and execution is good. The flipper tab is all right. It's not the most satisfying flip in the world, but it works well with the detent, and it does flip reliably. So it's fine there. It's just not quite as, there are knives that come in at half the price where the action feels a little bit better, but I feel silly kind of overly nitpicking this. They could improve on that area a little bit, but anyways, let's go ahead and do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's nearly the same. These are contoured though, which is always nice. Length and height up against the PM2 and the Para 3. This guy is pretty compact. It's no longer than the Para 3, and it's nowhere near as tall. That hump definitely clears it. Pocket experience is pretty good. Really, it's kind of disappears in the pocket. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools real quick. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. Where is the thing? There it is. This is a T8. So we have a T8 for the pivot, and then for the scale screws, the pocket clip screws, and the screws underneath that are holding in the backspacer, we're looking at T6. That's fine. This is easy to take apart. I wish everything was T8, but yeah, can't always get what you want. As long as you have quality tools and a place to put your hardware, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness here. I don't think this is an overly thick blade. Coming in at 116 thousandths or so. Yeah, pretty thin. Have we done everything? Oh, we need to weigh it. What does it weigh? We're looking at M390, actual M390. That's good, right? Titanium for the bolsters. We have carbon fiber, like a shred carbon fiber for the scales. That also looks really nice. And then we have steel liners. That's part of the reason they got the price down. Sitivien knives are made in China. I feel like everybody probably could have guessed that, but I'm going to go ahead and say it just in case anybody's curious. They are manufactured in China. 3.53 ounces, which is pretty good considering we have almost exactly 3.5 inches of blade. So the ratios are really nice on this guy. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So I'm going to show you real quick the conversation I had with Love Them Knives on Instagram. I said, hey, I've got the Sitivien here. They are claiming M390 for $80, which is like, wow, you know. And he messaged back, yeah, it actually is M390. Like I said, he has the equipment that allows him to test not only hardness, but the actual composition. So this is legitimately M390, but as you can see, and as a lot of you might have guessed, now this was on another knife, to be fair. I'm going to talk more about this, but this was another Sitivien. The hardness was 58.2, I think is what it said. I think we can all agree that that's too low, right? The industry standard on Chinese production knives that are utilizing 20CV, M390, or 204P, which are all, of course, almost exactly the same composition, what we see generally is 59 to 61. And a lot of us, understandably, I'm one of these people, think that the low end of that is also too low. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, it doesn't really matter what the price of the knife is, because there's a lot of other things that can affect the price tag. The steel, the M390 steel in 20CV and 204P should be hitting 60 to 62. That's my opinion. And some people say 59's not bad, and other people say it absolutely is, right? Almost everybody's going to say 58.2 is too low, right? And a lot of you might be thinking, what's the big deal, right? It doesn't sound that much lower. Every point of hardness, every point up is an exponential change. That's how this scale works. 58, at that point, you might as well be using a different steel, right? M390 is built to, balance specifically corrosion resistance and edge retention. It's not meant to be a tough steel at all. So it really shines when you get up specifically once you go like too high, it becomes so brittle. It's like, you lose the benefit. But 60 to 62, it really seems to shine, especially that 61, 62 area, right? But a lot of these companies have a 2-point range, and they apply it to everything. So some people might be wondering, well, so that was on a different knife, right? Why can't you assume like yours could be 61? Generally, they don't have that much of a range. Like it's very consistent with a lot of these companies. They have a 2-point range, right? So if LTK is coming in at 58.2, right? There's always a little bit of margin for error, but let's assume that it's safe to assume there's a 2-point range. So let's say best case scenario, he came in at the low end of the range. That means that the best possible outcome would be 60, which is, safer to assume that might have been somewhere in the middle, right? Their range could be 57, 59, which is not good. And I would hope that it wouldn't be lower than that, right? But I still wanted to see for myself, because this was, after all, a different knife. I'm more of a design reviewer. I don't do a lot of extensive testing, but wow, did this thing lose its factory edge super fast. I went out and just cut a little bit of cardboard, maybe 20 passes. Man, that factory edge was gone very quickly. Usually, it'll last a little longer than that, just a little bit. But it went from like really sharp to just not sharp at all very quickly. I mean, at this point, or do I have some paper lying around? Yeah. At this point, it's having a little bit of trouble wanting to initially bite. Come on now. I had it earlier. It actually will it actually will still slice, but I'm actually having trouble getting it to bite now. So yeah, it will, but see, we're lifting the edge really hard. This was just a brand new edge to being used very, very lightly. So for me, that's a good indicator that it's probably right around where the other one that LTK tested, or possibly worse. Yeah, you can get M390 for, this is an $80 knife, but that's too soft, right? This is a nice build. They executed everything else pretty well. I mean, the action's a little bit lackluster, but like the overall fit and finish and the seating of the hardware, all of that. Transition from the titanium to the carbon fiber is good. The finish on the blade looks good. The final apex looks good, right? It's also got decent ergonomics for the size and shape that it is, which is very classic. Nothing super special going on here, but it doesn't need to be. Really great EDC style blade shape. They got a nice titanium backspacer and pocket clip. It's got everything else to support, you know, like it's got all the, like the foundation of a good knife, you know, the one that would certainly be amazing at $80 if the heat treatment was on point. But that is a huge part of it. Definitely. And, you know, good or great is a range, certainly, right? There is no such thing as a perfect and absolutely perfect, like specifically perfect heat treatment. It's a range, right? There are definitely people out there who would say, I really like M390, but I legitimately need it at 60, right? And reasons. Other people say, I love M390, but I legitimately need it at 62, right? Some people say even 63, right? Pretty much nobody is saying I need this stuff at 58. You just don't. The rest of this review it's pretty straightforward. There's a lanyard hole for lanyard people. There's a, honestly, the pocket clip design is pretty good. In and out of the pocket's nice. There's a stop pin located in its traditional spot. A little bit of shouldering there. No blade play, up, down, left, or right. And honestly, I'm not even going to get the gloves out because I did this earlier. I know you guys can't see me, but I am hitting it pretty hard. I'm hitting this thing pretty hard. So the lockup and everything is great, actually. No movement, no slip or anything like that. They're doing all the other stuff. All right, debris. They're doing all the other stuff, but they're not doing the heat treat, right? So I would be much more impressed if this came in more expensive with an amazing heat treat. I mean, let's say this thing was $125 and they got it to $61. You're definitely still beating most of the people on the market there, right? Having a really low price tag is great if you're actually getting something great for that price. Otherwise, you're just getting something mediocre for almost too much. Because I'm not buying it because it says M390 on the blade and it's got titanium and carbon fiber on there. That's cool and it looks nice and it's finished well. But at the end of the day, especially at in any tier, they need to, in my opinion, they should perform unless it's being sold specifically as an art piece, right? But this is being sold as a functional tool. Yeah, it'll go out and cut stuff, right? But it should perform. So it's too low. I will continue to look at Sitivien knives, and I will probably continue to bring this up unless I notice, either from my own like very minimal testing, or somebody like LTK goes, hey, this one came back at 61, right? That'd be cool. That'd be really great, especially if they keep the prices reasonable. It's not like I don't expect them to move at all if they're going to make an effort to get that a little bit higher. Yeah, I mean, if the prices go up, but they're still reasonable and they're getting those numbers better, well, sure, then that sounds great. But as of right now, I'll put a link down there. You guys can do whatever you want. It's your money, but I definitely don't recommend this, even at $80. No, that's too low. Anything in that general area, right? So that's going to be pretty much it for me. But I do appreciate Sitivien for sending this in. Still interested in looking at products in the future. Just hoping we get the Rockwell hardness up. So thanks again to LTK for being able to check this stuff and for sharing this information with me and by extension everybody who watches my channel. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.